While I was in the hospital, my mom and sister put my 4-year-old in a box, joking she was being returned to the factory. When I got home, she was crying as they laughed. I didn't shout, but a week later, they were the ones screaming. The first thing I heard when I opened my front door wasn't a welcome home or how are you feeling? It was my daughter screaming, not the angry scream of a tantrum, not the frustrated wail of a toy taken away. This was the raw, primal terror of a child who genuinely believed she was about to be abandoned. The kind of sound that bypasses your brain and goes straight to something older, something that makes your blood run cold even before you understand why. I dropped my hospital bag on the hardwood. The sound was coming from the living room. When I rounded the corner, I saw the cardboard box first. One of those large Amazon shipping boxes, the kind that holds a small appliance. It was sitting in the middle of the carpet, and someone had written across it in thick black Sharpie, "Defective, return to sender." My 4-year-old daughter Emma was inside it. My mother was standing over the box, iPhone held at arm's length, recording. My sister Vanessa stood beside her, also filming. Her face split into that particular smile people get when they're capturing content. Performative delight mixed with calculated engagement hunting. "Please," Emma sobbed from inside the box. Her voice was hoarse. She'd been crying for a while. "Please let me out. I'll be good. I promise I'll be good." Vanessa zoomed in closer. "But sweetie, you're broken. We have to send you back to the factory where they make little girls. Maybe they'll give us a better one," my mother added, her voice sugary and theatrical. "One that doesn't cry so much." Emma's face appeared over the edge of the box, puffy, red, soaked with tears and snot. Her hands gripped the cardboard edge so hard her knuckles had gone white. "I don't want to go back," she wailed. "I don't want them to fix me." My sister cackled, actually cackled, like a cartoon villain. "Too late, sweetie. The factory truck is coming. Did you hear that?" She made a beeping sound. Beep, beep, beep. That's when my mother's gaze drifted toward the doorway, toward me. Her smile died like someone had flipped a switch. "Oh." Her phone lowered slightly. "You're home." I didn't say anything. I walked across the room, lifted Emma out of the box, and held her against my chest. She wrapped around me like a drowning person grabbing a lifeline, arms around my neck, legs around my waist, face buried in my shoulder. Her whole body shook. "It was just a joke," Vanessa said quickly, her voice bright and defensive. "She was being dramatic. Kids do that." I carried Emma toward the stairs. "Ryan, come on," my mother called after me. "She's fine. She's 4. She won't even remember this tomorrow." I kept walking. Upstairs, I sat on Emma's bed, the one with the unicorn sheets she'd picked out herself, and held her while she cried into my shoulder. After 10 minutes, the sobs became hiccups. After 20, she pulled back enough to look at me. "Daddy?" Her voice was so small. "Am I broken?" The words went through my ribs like a blade. "No, baby, you're perfect. But Grandma said I'm defective." She pronounced it carefully, the way kids do with new words. "She said they need to send me back." I held her tighter. "Grandma was wrong. You're not defective. You're exactly who you're supposed to be. Promise?" "I promise." She fell asleep 20 minutes later, still clutching my shirt. I stayed until her breathing evened out. Then I carefully extracted myself and sat in the hallway outside her room, in the dark, and I did math. My mother and sister had been living in my rental property for 2 years. It was a 3-bedroom house 2 blocks from mine, close enough that they could help with Emma after my wife Sarah died from a pulmonary embolism when Emma was 18 months old. The rent should have been $800 a month, market rate for that neighborhood. I'd charge them nothing. 2 years, 24 months, $43,200. My sister's car insurance was on my policy, had been since she totaled her Civic, and her rates quadrupled. $200 a month, give or take. $4,800. The credit card. I'd co-signed for my mother 3 years ago when she was rebuilding her credit after her divorce. She'd promised she'd only use it for emergencies and pay it off every month. Current balance, $8,247.33. I knew because I'd checked that morning, sitting in the hospital bed before my discharge. The latest charge was from 2 days ago. Sephora, $347. Total financial support over the past 2 years, approximately $56,000, and they'd put my daughter in a box and told her she was defective for TikTok views. I pulled out my phone and opened my notes app, started typing. The next morning, Emma asked for chocolate chip pancakes. I made them. She ate 2 bites and then asked, "Daddy, if I'm really good today, can I stay?" "You're staying forever, sweetheart. This is your home." "But what if I'm bad?" "Emma, look at me." I knelt down so we were eye level. "Nothing you do could ever make me send you away. Do you understand?" "Nothing," she nodded, but I could see the doubt still there, lodged deep. After I dropped her at preschool, Ms. Rodriguez asked if everything was okay. Emma had been unusually clingy during drop-off. I drove to the law office of Martinez and Associates. Jennifer Martinez was a family law attorney I'd worked with during the estate settlement after Sarah died. She was in her 50s, pragmatic, and she didn't waste time on pleasantries. "I need to evict my mother and sister from my rental property," I said. She didn't blink. "How long have they been there?" 2 years, no lease, no rent paid. That makes it easier. Month-to-month tenancy, you can evict with 30 days written notice in this state. Do you want to do this? Yes. Any chance they'll contest it? Probably. She nodded. "We'll file today. Expect Expect pushback. Expect tears. Expect them to call you names. Do you have documentation of the lack of payment? Bank statements going back 2 years. Good. Bring them by this afternoon. Stop 2 was my insurance agent's office. I need to remove my sister from my auto insurance policy, I told Derek Chen, who'd handled my policies for 6 years. Okay, I can do that. She'll need to find her own coverage immediately. Is her car financed? Yes. Then her lender will require proof of insurance within usually 10 to 30 days depending on the lender. If she can't provide it, they'll force place insurance at a much higher rate or repossess. Understood. Ryan, I have to ask, is everything okay? Everything's fine. Just making some changes. He processed the removal while I waited. Done. She's off the policy as of tomorrow. I'll send her an email notification tonight. Stop 3 was a phone call to Capital One. I'd been rehearsing what to say. I need to dispute charges on my account ending in 4739, I told the representative. Her name was Michelle. She sounded tired. Can I ask the nature of the dispute? Unauthorized usage. The card was co-signed for emergency use only by my mother. She's made approximately $8,000 in non-emergency purchases without my permission over the past 14 months. Casino withdrawals, luxury retail, restaurants. I see. And you're listed as the primary card holder? Yes. I'm going to open a fraud investigation. You'll need to submit documentation. Your co-signer agreement if you have one. Communication about the card's intended use. And you may need to file a police report. I'll do whatever's necessary. The account will be frozen pending investigation. Your mother will be unable to use the card during this time. I understand. Michelle paused. Sir, I have to tell you, if the investigation finds in your favor, your mother could face criminal fraud charges. I understand that too. That afternoon, Emma's preschool called. Hi, Mr. Patterson. This is Ms. Rodriguez. I wanted to check in. Emma's had a really hard day. She's been asking repeatedly if you're coming to pick her up, and when I assured her you were, she asked if you were going to send her back. Do you know what she means by that? My jaw tightened. Yes, something happened at home. I'm handling it. I see. Her voice was careful. Has there been any change in her home environment? Anyone new staying with you, or my mother and sister were watching her while I was in the hospital this week. They won't be watching her anymore. Silence on the other end. Then, Mr. Patterson, if there's anything we should know about Emma's safety, she's safe, I said. I promise you, she's safe now. It's handled. Okay. But if you need resources, counseling for her, or I'll look into it. Thank you for calling. After I hung up, I sat in my car in the law office parking lot and called Dr. Lisa Mendoza, a child psychologist who'd been recommended by Emma's pediatrician months ago after Emma had started having nightmares following Sarah's death. Dr. Mendoza's office. Hi, this is Ryan Patterson. I need to schedule an appointment for my daughter Emma as soon as possible. She's 4 and she's been through a traumatic incident. I'm so sorry to hear that. Dr. Mendoza has an opening Friday at 2. Would that work? Yes, thank you. 3 days later, my mother called. I was making dinner, mac and cheese, Emma's favorite, when my phone lit up. Mom's cell. I put it on speaker. We got an eviction notice. Her voice was tight, controlled, delivered by a process server. I know. Why are you doing this? I turned off the stove. You put Emma in a box and told her she was defective. You filmed her crying and begging you to let her out. It was a joke. My God, Ryan, it was a joke. She's fine. She asked me if she was broken. She's 4 years old, and she asked me if I was going to send her back to the factory. Silence on the other end. You're overreacting, she said finally. You're upset because of the accident, and you're not thinking clearly. I have 30 days to give you. You have 30 days to leave. Ryan, I hung up. 53 minutes later, my sister called. I didn't pick up. She called again and again. On the 4th call, I answered. My insurance was canceled, Vanessa was screaming. I got pulled over for a broken taillight, and I don't have insurance. Do you know what the fine is? Get your own policy. I can't afford it. They quoted me $350 a month because of my accident history. You should have thought about that before you put my daughter in a box. This isn't about that. You can't just, I did. I hung up. 2 weeks passed. Emma started seeing Dr. Mendoza twice a week. The first session, I waited in the lobby while they talked. When Dr. Mendoza came out, her expression was carefully neutral. I'd like to schedule a parent session, she said. Just you and me. Can you come in Monday at 10? Is everything okay? Emma is displaying symptoms consistent with emotional trauma. I need to understand the full context of what happened. Monday morning, I sat in Dr. Mendoza's office while she took notes. Walk me through what happened, she said. From the beginning. I told her everything. The box, the label, the video, the begging. She was quiet for a long moment after I finished. Mr. Patterson, what they did constitutes emotional abuse. It's textbook psychological trauma, convincing a child they're unwanted, that they're defective, that they're going to be abandoned. Children Emma's age are in a critical developmental phase for attachment and self-worth. This kind of experience can cause lasting damage. I know, I said quietly. Have you reported this to anyone? Not yet. I'm a mandated reporter, she said carefully. Given what you've told me, and given Emma's presentation in our sessions, I'm obligated to file a report with Child Protective Services. Will that help Emma? It will create a paper trail. It will document what happened, and it may result in safety measures being put in place to prevent your mother and sister from having unsupervised access to Emma in the future. I nodded slowly. Do what you need to do. The CPS investigator came to my house on a Thursday afternoon. Her name was Patricia Okonkwo, and she'd been with the department for 12 years. She sat at my kitchen table with a yellow legal pad and asked me questions for 90 minutes. Then she asked to speak with Emma. I'll be gentle, she promised. I sat outside Emma's room while they talked. I couldn't hear most of it, but at one point I heard Emma's voice rise. They said I was broken. When Patricia came out, her expression was grim. I'm going to recommend supervised contact only, she said. Your mother and sister will be flagged in our system. If they're ever reported for child welfare concerns again, this incident will be part of their file. What does that mean, practically? It means if either of them works with children, applies to foster or adopt, or is involved in any future custody or welfare investigations, this will come up. It doesn't ban them from being around children, but it creates a record. Good. She looked at me for a long moment. Mr. Patterson, I've been doing this job for over a decade. I've seen a lot of creative cruelty. What they did to your daughter, that stays with kids. You did the right thing calling Dr. Mendoza. Keep Emma in therapy. And, she hesitated, document everything. If they escalate, if they try to contact her against your wishes, if they show up here, document it. Create a paper trail. I will. That same evening, my mother showed up at my door, red-faced, furious. The credit card company froze my account, she shouted before I could even say hello. They're investigating me for fraud. You spent $8,000 without permission. You're my son. You co-signed. That means I'm allowed. It means you're allowed to use it for emergencies, not casino trips and designer handbags. This is insane. You're destroying my credit over what? A stupid game we played with Emma? You stuffed my daughter in a box and told her she was defective. You filmed her terror for social media, and you're calling it a game. My sister's car pulled up behind my mother's. Vanessa got out, mascara streaked down her face. This is insane, she shouted, storming up the driveway. We're family. You don't do this to family. Family doesn't traumatize children for TikTok content. Mom's voice cracked. You're really doing this? You're really throwing us out, ruining our finances, destroying our lives, over one mistake. I pulled out my phone, opened my downloads folder, found the video. You uploaded the video to TikTok, I said quietly. Caption, when kids act up, parenting humor, return to sender. You got 1,600 views before you deleted it. Both of them went still. I downloaded it before you took it down. I turned the screen toward them, hit play. Emma's face filled the frame, her terrified eyes, her small voice begging them to stop, promising to be good, asking what she did wrong. Vanessa's voice in the background. Should we poke holes in the box so she can breathe? Nah, defective ones don't need air. Both of them laughing. Emma sobbing. The video was 6 minutes and 43 seconds long. My mother's face drained of color. Where did you? I sent this to CPS, I said. Last night. My sister's mouth opened. No sound came out. And I sent it to Aunt Karen, Uncle Mike, Grandma Helen, your cousins Jessica and Tom, your old college roommate Linda, everyone who follows you on social media, 37 people total, with a full explanation of what you did while I was in the hospital recovering from a car accident. You didn't, my mother whispered. Check your Facebook. Vanessa pulled out her phone with shaking hands. I watched her scroll, watched her face crumble. Oh my God, she breathed. Oh my God, everyone, they're all commenting, I said. Yes. My mother grabbed the porch railing. Her knuckles went white. You had no right. CPS investigated yesterday, I continued. Patricia Okonkwo, senior investigator, 12 years with the department. She interviewed me, she interviewed Emma, she reviewed the video, and she reviewed Dr. Mendoza's preliminary assessment. Her conclusion, you're both unfit for unsupervised contact with children. It's in your permanent file now. They can't do that. Mom lurched forward. We didn't hurt her. We didn't touch her. Emotional abuse is still abuse. Dr. Lisa Mendoza, licensed child psychologist, 14 years in practice. She diagnosed Emma with acute psychological trauma resulting from the incident. It's documented. We'll fight it, Vanessa said, but her voice shook. We'll get a lawyer. We'll prove you're lying. With what money? I asked. Your insurance is gone. Your credit is frozen. You have 18 days to vacate my property, and if you're not out by then, the sheriff will remove you, and your belongings will be placed on the curb. We're sorry. My mother grabbed my arm, her fingers digging in. Ryan, please. We'll apologize to Emma. We'll make this right. You can't make this right. She wakes up every night asking if I'm going to send her back. She asks her teacher every single day if I'm really coming to pick her up. She asks me if she's broken. I pulled my arm free. Every family member you have has seen what you did. Aunt Karen called me this morning. She's disgusted. She said she always knew you were self-absorbed, but she didn't know you were cruel. Uncle Mike sent me a text. 3 words. They're dead to me. Grandma Helen called crying. She said she was ashamed to have raised you. My sister collapsed against her car. You ruined our lives. No, you ruined your own lives when you put a 4-year-old in a box and called her defective for internet points. Please, my mother begged. Ryan, where are we supposed to go? We don't have money. We don't have credit. Vanessa can't even drive because she can't afford insurance. We have nothing. I looked at both of them. 2 grown women standing on my porch, crying, begging, the same way Emma had begged them to let her out of the box, the same way she'd sobbed while they laughed and filmed. I don't know, I said. Maybe find a factory that accepts defective grandmothers. I stepped back inside, closed the door. Through the window, I watched my mother sink to her knees on the concrete. My sister stood frozen, staring at nothing, and I felt nothing but the weight of my daughter sleeping upstairs, finally safe from the people who were supposed to love love her most. 3 months later, Emma stopped asking if I was going to send her away. It took time. It took Dr. Mendoza's patient work. Twice a week for 8 weeks, then once a week. It took me sitting with her every single night, reading stories, singing songs, promising her over and over that she was loved, she was wanted, she was perfect exactly as she was. But she stopped asking. My mother and sister moved in with my Aunt Linda, my mother's younger sister, in Nevada. Linda called me once to yell at me for abandoning family. I listened for 30 seconds, then said, "Did you watch the video?" She hung up. She called back an hour later to apologize. The credit card fraud investigation found in my favor. My mother was ordered to pay restitution. Her credit score dropped below 500. She sent me an email, the first contact in 2 months, saying I'd destroyed her future. I didn't respond. Vanessa's car was repossessed. She posted about it on Facebook, calling me a vindictive monster. 17 people commented telling her she got what she deserved. I didn't block them on social media. I wanted them to see Emma's photos. I wanted them to see her smiling at the zoo, laughing at the park, living the life they tried to take from her. Last week, Emma brought home a drawing from preschool. It was the two of us, stick figures holding hands. Above it, in Ms. Rodriguez's careful handwriting, Emma had dictated it. "My daddy loves me forever." I put it on the refrigerator, and every time I walk past it, I think about that cardboard box.